Welcome back everybody to the Misfits Formula 1 League here for tonight's action from Spa-Francorchamps as we're coming towards the closing stage of the qualifying session here, with currently just 0.4 of a second here separating the top three drivers, albeit it does appear that LFC James, currently sat in P3, has done the fast lap of the session on medium tyres. I don't know whether that was oh, actually, you know what? The top three have all done their best lap so far in this session on the medium tyres. Now, we know obviously Spa is a long lap, so tyre wear is pretty brutal. But the fact that the softs are more worn out than the mediums after, or rather slower than the mediums after at least half a lap, I mean, that is pretty significant here. That's going to definitely point towards an interesting race here a bit later on in this one, although saying that, two of these top three have now gone and put the soft tyres on for their final runs. In fact, no, all three of them have put the soft tyres on for their final runs. So it does appear that maybe they feel they've got more time to be found on the soft tyres. As we can see there, Sedders has had a bit of a calamity on this lap, or this out lap even. So this is not even his flying lap, this is his out lap, and he's lost, well, not just the front wing but also the nose cone as well. So that is a pretty hefty whack that Sedders must have endured into the wall somewhere around the track in the first sector there. That is that's quite mind-boggling. So we've got K-Karts out there, so is LFC James. These guys very close to Sedders' provisional pole time. I don't think Sedders is going to get another lap in here, because he'll have to come into the pits and get a new front wing. By that time there won't be enough time left to get round and do another out lap here. So I think it's safe to say that Sedders is not going to be able to defend this provisional pole position, as we see his teammate John there going through Stavolo and into the final sector here, tagging the curb a little bit on the inside, which is very easy obviously to ping you off, but at the moment John's keeping it together as we come through into the final few corners of the lap here at Spa. Let's see if John can put himself in the mix here. A bit wide out of Blanchimont, keeping it within track limits and down towards the bus stop here. Doesn't look like he's too far away from the pole time. Here comes John then, onto the power, out of the final corner, and to the line comes John, and P8 at the moment. So, well, no, P4. So there's a bit of lag going on here in this session. It's not really what you want to be seeing. Does appear to be a bit of a delay here. Sedders is going through sector 1 at full pelt here. So what I'm seeing on my screen is not... Oh dear. But there's no... I don't know what's going on. This is a bit annoying. Well, anyway, probably because I joined halfway through the session. I doubt it's an issue. I did join about 3 or 4 minutes after the session started, so it could be why we're seeing this. But anyway, just imagine that Sedders has got a full Williams F1 car underneath him and isn't driving around with half a chassis. But Sedders here, 0.03 of a second down through the first sector. Here we come then, down towards Pouin, the provisional pole sitter. This is a much better view for this particular car, but here comes Sedders into Campus. Keep an eye on the top right hand corner in a moment. Oh, onto the curb there, going through the first part of Campus. That would have just upset the balance a little bit and prevented him from really getting onto the power as early as he'd like to. Coming out of the corner through Stavolo, he's half a second up though, so he's still found the time on those soft tyres, which is pretty solid. So he's done alright there through that Fabil sector, despite that little wobble there going through Campus on the curb. Through Blanchimont we come now. He's got just a couple of corners to go here as he hits the brakes there nice and late, and just takes it a little bit past the apex there. That's kind of what you want to do, because the corner is pretty wide. It does open up, so you can afford to miss the apex and still carry plenty of speed. And Sedders goes on to a 43.1 there. Lovely lap there from Sedders. We've got K-Karts, LFC James will be next over the line, P3 at the moment, and improves to P2, 0.4 shy of Sedders. So they're finding similar amounts of time, those two, on the soft tyres compared to what their previous times were. Can K-Karts buck the trend and find a little bit more here? He needs to find a 1.5 seconds on what his current time is if he wants to get P1. He's not going to get P1. It's going to be P3 for K-Karts here. 0.9 of a second off of the provisional fastest time there from Sedders. So those three have now been and gone, and that is their laps done. As we see, I Constipated coming over the line. and goes into P3 there with a very, very solid lap indeed. Only half a second off at the pole time. We've got John obviously on in lap. Mighty Hammers is done for the session. We've got a West Ham fan in the log yard looks of it. But in the meantime, Badman coming through the middle sector, the championship leader in the purple sector Formula 1 League. Now, what can he do here in the Misfits League this season as he's coming through Stavolo for the final time here in this qualifying session? He hasn't done a lap here, so there's no real, there's nothing to really compare it to in terms of what he's doing at the moment. Daz is also out on the lap as well. These two had a brilliant battle on Thursday night in the Hungarian Grand Prix at the purple sector Formula 1 League. So who's going to be on top out of these two in terms of their intra battle? Dazza goes P5. He's nowhere near the pole time as Badman over the line. What did Badman do? Sorry, I just flicked to somebody else there. What did Badman do? We're about to find out in a second. He went quicker than John because John was P6 before. We know that for sure. Now, what was Badman's time? Badman went P1, and it wasn't by a shade. He did it by 7/10 of a second. So Dazza, who took the fight to Badman at Hungary on Thursday night, absolutely nowhere near him tonight. 2.3 seconds adrift. Did Dazza get compromised on that final run of the session? I wouldn't be at all surprised if that were to turn out to be the case. But Badman Sellers and LFC James are the top three here, with Icon Spated fourth ahead of K-Karts. Dazza in sixth. John will be seventh with Mighty Hammers eighth. I think we've got a couple more drivers joining us for the Grand Prix. So yeah, if you're watching this on the playlist, then skip to the next video. And if you're watching this after the race, then the race will be uploaded very shortly. So keep an eye out on Discord.